Hello, folks, and welcome to another exciting edition of Star Trek Discovery Commentary. This time it's Season 2, Episode 5, Saints of Imperfection, and this show just keeps getting better and better with each episode. Not really. It's fun to look back and see what I liked and see what I didn't like. I do most of these with Starfleet Boy, but now I'm here with good old Sean from Trek on the Tube, and we're going to take a look at this particular episode. Let's get into it right away. And we don't have to be on camera all the time. I'm probably going to jump off and on, but
Okay.
get my copy queued up here. I'm at the zero mark.
I couldn't tell you what happens in this. God, my hair is. I ran home anyway. I couldn't tell you what happens in this episode at all. Anyway, here we go.
All right. Hold on one second. All right. I got it. It's a 3-second countdown. And on go. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, mine's really loud. Shit. Blasted in my ears. Previously on Star Trek Discovery.
I'm not a Klingon. Oh, that's right. I forgot about control. Oh, that's right. We got Pike. See, because the last episode I did with you was
I didn't hear
season
anything
1.
you just said because it's been taking me forever to turn down the goddamn volume on the thing. Oh man, that was loud. Hold on one second. I still can't hear very well. Okay, I'm good now. What were you saying?
I was saying, oh yeah, that's right. It's Pike because the last one I did with you was season 1.
Oh, okay.
Well, oh no, was it? Yeah. What? No. Yeah, it was. It was season 1, I think. I don't know about running through the ship. Like, holodecks don't exist, but I'm pretty sure they still have treadmills.
Mm.
I'm kidding.
Is that Tilly? Yes, I'm afraid it's the thing that has eaten her and reconstructed her entire body in another place.
That's a bit strange. Discovery's
Yes.
full of fun ideas, but then they never really explain what they are. So I couldn't tell you what this is.
Well, there technically is a crapload of jargon that they go through, and it's always a situation where it's either Burnham, Tilly, or Stamets figure it out quick time, and I like that. It's just that sometimes it feels like we're on the clock. We need to have the geniuses figure this out right now, and say a bunch of stuff that makes it sound like it makes as much. Season when the spore landed on Tilly's shoulder, and the
You cut out for a
completely on
second there. I don't know if it was just for me or for the stream, generally speaking, but for a few seconds you were gone. So
oh shit.
you did my mic. I tell you that you're zoning out. Just mute me. I prefer this actor that plays.
No,
May,
it's the eating.
Oh, sorry. I can stop that. I prefer the May in The Expanse than in Star Trek Discovery. Well, the actor.
I have to prepare something in case that internet shit happens again. So don't mind me if I'm silent for a second. I'm trying to figure something out. Goddamn
Right.
computer. I use mostly my desktop for this stuff, But sometimes when you use the laptop, you get a little like run into some problems.
It's trying to run like the episode and the stream at the same time. It's too much for the laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Now I might cut out for a second here. Just bear with me.
Alright, I'm watching this thing. I don't remember anything. What is this about? Is this a Spock fake out?
Oh, this is the third one. The third Spock fake out.
This is Amanda Grayson?
No, that was last. That was the last one. This is Giorgio.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I'm so stupid. They gave you the recap for JoJo, so it spoils you that JoJo's going to be in the episode, right?
Am I
They
back?
even pushed the hymn. You were never gone.
Okay, because there's a lot of juddering that just happened on my video with everything else that just happened. Okay. I may be behind, so can you give me your timestamp?
I'm at 5:04.
Oh,
I got
perfect.
Burnham staring into the camera.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not doing this on my laptop ever again. It's getting older now and it's getting slower. And with every update, it seems to get worse. It's been saying the whole time that the browser's not responding. But here I am.
It seems to be working. So Pike knows. He says Captain Giorgio, but that's a front because he knows that it's Emperor.
I don't think he knows at this point because he knows something's up with her, and he presses Michael on like, give me the deets. And I think she's like, I'll tell you later. So I think he just goes off on his own, or maybe Cornwell tells him. Because he later does.
Cornwell dead at this point? Oh no, Cornwell dies at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony Rapp, Mary Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
Shazad Latif. He recently talked about Section 31.
Oh really? The show?
Yeah. Yes, just like vague stuff like they're thinking about it. They've written something down. People, it's like never anything.
Well, yeah, Boyan Kim and Erica Lippold are working on that. Like they must have the pilot ready or something. They must have at least some episodes.
No, Jesus, I don't know about that, but it has to be greenlit before they get into writing all the episodes. They do treatments, like they can do a treatment for an entire season if it's like.
You mean like an outline for like what the story could be? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like the main plot points, like our character has to go through this journey and meet this person, and they do this, and at the end it has to be this way. That could change.
I'm pretty sure every one of those that they did for Discovery just never worked out. Like we're gonna do this and it's gonna end this way, and then it doesn't at all. It goes off in a different direction.
I'm just gonna turn off my camera to minimize the drag here. If that works.
I'm now talking to the black.
You can turn off your camera. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to.
It's alright, I don't mind.
You want people to look at you. You're so vain.
Look at me. Look at me. They're probably watching the episode. That's the point, though, isn't it?
Actually, now the video's very smooth once I did that.
Wait a minute. Maybe I can smooth it out. Look at that. Do I look retired?
Yeah, Spike's definitely not buying
Spike.
That she's either normal or what. Did I say Spike?
Yeah, you said Spike. I mean, that's what I heard, but...
Captain Spike.
Yeah.
It sounds like a dog.
It does. Sounds like a dog. But isn't that the slash fiction, too? The name that they give Spock and Pike?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Covert Ops. He knows all about it.
He knows. He knows.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. A kid in grade 3 on Earth is like, we know all about Section 31 and their operations and all of their operatives and the names of the operatives.
On which planet they do this and that and what have you. I would like the Section 31 show, if anything, to kind of transition between like the everyone knows what it is of Discovery to the no one's ever heard of it in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Like I'd like that to at least be resolved somehow. Look at this guy.
We're at 9:12, 9:13, 9:14, 9:15.
Yes.
He made fun of him because he doesn't have hair. Pike's great.
That's not a very 4th century thing, I think.
I mean, anybody at that point.
And clearly he's shaving his hair. He's not bald either. He's taking it off.
He's probably just making fun of the fact that he shaves his head. And here, look at Giorgio here. What is she doing? Have you ever seen CinemaSins? He always points this out.
Yeah.
How do you make a douchebag seem even douchier and just
with an apple?
Make them eat an apple.
That was a nod to Kelvin Kirk, though, wasn't it? That was a nod to...
I don't think it was a nod to Kelvin Kirk so much as the scene in 2009 Star Trek was using that same tired trope of how do we make somebody seem like an arrogant douchebag? Have them casually crunch on an apple and listen. It's like they really like. I hate that. I fucking hate it.
You know where it works well, in my opinion?
Where?
Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one. Barbossa eats an apple. Food turned to ash in our mouths. I think that works. But then I like that movie too much.
Like, ugh.
What do they have with apples too? Because Vance eats an apple. Well, he eats his apple made of shit in season 3.
Yeah, it's weird. This is the part of Giorgio where it's.
Yeah.
She seems a little too flimsy in the role. Like there's a point where you want her to take it a little more seriously, but then again the dialogue they give her is very catty, and they're like, okay, Michelle, you're gonna be very catty and you're gonna be crunching on this apple, and then it only gets good right here when they kind of stop and have this little conversation. I like Burnham's reaction to her. Ooh. You touch my brother and I'll rip you apart.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like an old western almost. Don't touch my brother.
You already shot my paw.
The gate's right through there. You can leave whenever you're ready.
See, this is the jargon that explains everything that's going on. And, it's serviceable for sci-fi. And I give Discovery points for, doing weird out there stuff. It's just the May character is really annoying.
I think that maybe one of the things that displeases me with Discovery is that they never kind of make a point. Like, they do these sci-fi things, they have the jargon, but they never make a point of it in the episode. Like, you won't remember it. Most time anomalies or strange phenomenon that happened in like TNG or Deep Space Nine, they're memorable. You can kind of remember that episode where this happened. Whereas in Discovery, I suppose you latch more onto like character moments, I guess, than the sci-fi things. But then I'm not the biggest fan of like the character development that Discovery does anyway. So I'm not the best person to have on these videos. But
oh no, I mean, if you listen, well, the commentaries I've done with Starfleet Boy. We're shitting all over the show in a fun way, and I gotta say, I think some people will take it the wrong way if they listen to us, because he laughs and whatever, But
It's
like the last one, I kept saying "fuck Alex Kurtzman" over and over again, and then having to say like, I'm not being serious, by the way, because we were making the joke of all the producers coming up in the credits, like over and over again. There's like 20
like
or
23.
yeah, and I was at one point I was like, all these producers again. Look, this no talent hack. Look at that no talent hack. And I was like, I was being very tongue in cheek. But I'm sure some people would be like, "Oh, you're a hater." But we like making fun of it. It's fun. It's fun to make fun of it and appreciate it at the same time.
This is some garbage VFX. I don't know.
I hate this. I hate the way this looks.
It's oh my god. Oh, there it is. It's hideous. Look at it. God damn. Fix that shit. They fixed it in season 3. It doesn't. Nothing looks nearly as disgusting as this. There's also a problem with these first 2 seasons of Discovery where the color palette is just disgusting. Like, at least make the show appealing to look. To watch.
I'm full disclosure. I have a certain type of color blindness, maybe a combination of different ones. But all this looks very, very, very blue, with a couple of like orange or greenish shit in the back. But out of all of season 2, Pike's office always looks great. Like the one they were just in where she was eating the apple. That always looks really.
The table pops too.
Yeah, the color is diverse in it. It's like it's not all just like there's warm and there's cold. You know what I mean? And also when you get to the Enterprise, it's like finally a little dash of color or a little variation in the color because Discovery is very bluish.
You know what's insane is you look at the behind the scenes and they explain to you that I forgot her name. Is it Gersha Phillips is the one that does the costumes, I think.
Are you talking about Tamara Deverell and production design?
Yeah, I think that's it. Well, anyway, I think it's her. But anyway, the person that I'm talking about explained that they went to find the exact color code of that red orangey kind of handrail that they have on the original series, and then they applied that paint. So they went like to the detail of like what color code it was to get that exact orange, because apparently it's more an orange than a red. But then like the entire bridge is completely different. So it's like on one hand they're doing these perfect details, then on the other hand they completely redesigned the chair. But then it's like you're throwing filters and shit on the screen anyway. So the exact color that you went and captured, you're not actually getting it in the final product. Because you're throwing lens flares and you're throwing like this hot filter or this cold filter, whatever it is that they use.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of effort. For not much.
I know it's strange. Like all this right here looks very
this is all gray.
Monotone and sterile and cold.
Yeah.
But
that's
then again,
okay. I think the Voyager was very monotone and gray, and that's one of my favorite shows. So.
And it's not like a huge complaint. Even it's just I appreciate a little more vibrancy in the cinematography. One of the disadvantages of season 3 is that it's just too white and bright everywhere, which works to an extent. And then I don't know, they can't find a consistent palette. I always say that the best Gersha Phillips, the best thing she works with is black. Every time there are black outfits,
Mirror Universe on Section 31.
Or anything, even their like the regular ops outfits.
The Klingon stuffs are pretty cool. That she does is pretty cool.
Black outfits always look really good in the show, and me and Starfleet Boy were like, you know what, this navy blue uniform that Burnham's wearing now, we're like, imagine how good that would look if that was black instead of navy blue. And season 1 has more contrast, and there's darker lighting. And we noticed that in season 1, sometimes their uniforms, at least to me, look completely black in some shots. And Starfleet Boy's like, yeah, I can see the navy blue still, but I see what you mean because it's very, very dark, depending on the way they filmed it in that season.
How would you have felt if this show had actually been... Because, initially in, episode 3, when she arrives on Discovery, Burnham, that is, they explain to you that all of these weird science experiments are going on in each lab, and it's like a Section 31 controlled ship, or they have a presence on it. How would you have felt if all of a sudden, like, they all got the black badges, all of the uniforms were black instead of the dark blue, and it was like a Section 31 show?
No, I wouldn't like that.
Not a Section 31 show about like controlling other planets or that kind of stuff, but more a Section 31 show about experimentation and doing the, I suppose, morally gray, morally ambiguous experiments. Does that not vibe
Looking
enough
at this
with Star
season
Trek?
now, it's like the Section 31 stuff. None of it's really necessary. Like
Well,
none of it needs to be there. And
it's
and
for control, though, isn't it?
It should have just stayed in the background. They put it in the forefront where everybody knows what it is. They ruined it, essentially, what they did in this continuity. And yes, they could try to explain why it gets to a point where nobody ever heard of it, but there was a fundamental lack of understanding what it was. Like when they wrote Section 31 in the show, it's true. They did not understand what it meant in DS9. They really didn't. And even Enterprise, people complain about Section 31 in there. I think that was well done as well. To have it so far back that, yes, it could, by Discovery time, it could still exist. But if they were going to incorporate it in the show, don't do what they did in the third episode of the first season, where they actually have dudes that they walk by with black badges and stuff, and like they're out in the open. They never explain what that shit is. That's like a thing that happens, and it's never brought up again in that season. It's crazy.
Season 1's full of that kind of stuff. Like Stamets seeing himself in the mirror. I know that's just like foreshadowing for like the mirror universe, but it you know what I mean? It means nothing in the show, technically.
That might have something to do with mycelial... the spores affecting his perception of time, and that was like a time weird thing that happened.
So do that. Do a story arc about that. That's very interesting.
Well, they do. They bring it up in Magic to make the same as Man Go
Yeah,
Mad.
but then it becomes a Burnham story, doesn't it? Instead of being a Stamets story, because he's the one that should have been able to live outside of the time.
Go back and watch. That's a great Burnham and Stamets episode. That was like
the worst. It's one of the worst episodes of the
season. Oh,
season.
really? You don't like it?
I hate it. I hate it so much. I think it fails in every respect.
I love it. Love it so much. It's Groundhog Day.
I also hate the frat party in it.
Oh, yeah. That's the one complaint, is that the party looks too contemporary. Is that the right word?
I suppose. I don't even... I guess it is contemporary, but I find it too college. Like, adults don't have parties like that, I feel.
Yeah, adults are usually pretty chill at parties.
Like, adults seem more mature than how they were portraying the crew. Like, it really seemed like a bunch of teens.
Yeah.
And I guess they're appealing to teenagers with this show, but that doesn't... Like, your characters are still adults. Otherwise, just cast a bunch of teens and have them on a derelict starship.
This is an example of one of the episodes that's filmed well. It doesn't... You will get into later episodes where the camera's just all over the place and there's lens flare all the time for no reason.
Well, there hasn't been
they tend to have
or shaky cam here since the beginning. It's been very, stable.
I like that little look Detmer gave him. Like, I like having you around, Mr. Pike.
Yeah.
I mean, oops, Captain. Godspeed to us all. Remember when people were like, you can't say God in Star Trek? Jason Isaacs was like, I don't think so, motherfucker. And then Pike's like, yeah, well, I'll continue that transition. And that's the only other indication that he has some kind of religious thing about him, because in episode 2...
Godspeed is an expression, though.
I know, but it's a little tiny hint, I think.
It's a naval expression.
But did you know that they were going to make Pike like a religious man, like a man of faith? And they hint at it in episode 2, with his knowledge of the church. And
so you say they were gonna make him a man of faith? You're talking about Discovery, not originally.
No, I mean like in Discovery.
Okay.
I think they toned that down a bit. And I'm not saying I'm not saying Godspeed might not necessarily mean it's like a hint to that, but definitely there's a little bit of a hint in New Eden. It's like, where's that big pizza cutter coming from?
Oh no. The what? The Jasip?
You know why?
These names, yo.
You know why May is so confusing? Because apparently, whatever she is, she's intelligent. Intelligent enough to
Communicate and
you know, and
create herself a human form.
And be in Tilly's head and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
See, like, parts like this where, like, what are you doing with your tiny finger? I understand. But, like, the whole thing where she doesn't understand what Culber is. We've had this discussion at some point before. Where it's like, how does she not know that Culber is a human? And it's like she's conveniently keeping the information from Tilly for the reveal. It would have been interesting if she said, "There's one of you in here, and he's bad. You got to catch him." Or something like that. And it's like, so who is that? Who could that be?
Who could that be? The horrible person. Like, there's another human, but he's mean. Yeah.
That would have been a better reveal to see that, oh, no, it wasn't a bad person. It was Culber, and he was scared, and he's trying to survive.
He just has a beard.
Yeah, and bad teeth. He has, like, yellow teeth and messed up hair. The funny
thing is, they kind of did that with, what was her name? Poe? Is it Poe? Tilly befriends her. Like, they want to show you that she's like this wild creature. She's like spitting acid and shit everywhere. But then she's actually the princess of a highly civilized people. That's not like, she's the princess of a country that already has relations of a planet that already has relations with the Federation and Starfleet. Like, why is she acting like this around Tilly? You're acting like she's a wild animal. She's never seen a human before, but she's been to friggin' meetings with, just boards of people and what have you. I don't know. It's a bit strange.
Yeah, it's well,
it's not strange. It's stupid. But sorry.
Don't apologize.
It's not well written is the problem, but I mean that is the worst of all of the short treks in my opinion.
Hani Lika Akapoki or something. Yeah, she's Zahian, and she's the princess, and she invented dilithium regeneration.
Recrystallization. The thing that Spock invents years later.
And there's a really... Pike's worst line in this whole season. I don't know if maybe it's his worst, but it always stands out to me. When he's like, follow the princess. And I'm like, oh God, no.
Here we go. No. It's become a Zelda game.
But it's like you had to have seen the short trek to get the full like context of it, and you may not have liked it then, but I can see how people are into it and you'd be like, oh yes, follow the princess. It's like she's a plot point they put in there at the end so they can get to the future, which they don't have to go to at the end of the episode. But I digress.
Well, I have a big problem with that short treks in particular because I think it makes Tilly a traitor and a felon. Because this person is wanted by the Federation and by Starfleet, and she helps her leave the ship, and she hides it from her captain, and she doesn't announce that there's an intruder on it. Like, everything she does, I think she should be court-martialed, and I think that's still pending, but they'll never address that. Like, she should have literally lost, her position. But, I mean, she got upgraded to captain, so, instead. This is cool. I like this effect.
The effect of the bubbles or whatever.
It's like, it's kind of bubbles, but it's also kind of like the snap from the MCU, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. No, it's more bubbly, yeah. I like it.
It's like just liquid going up. I like this shot here. Poor Wilson Cruz.
Oh, no.
It's like I look like a mess.
So this is the thing where everyone apparently thought that he was dead and they brought him back, but I never understood that he was supposed to die in the first place.
What do you mean you never understood that he was supposed to die? You mean
Well,
like how he died, like neck crack, or?
no, it's like he's got scurvy. That's what he's got. He's got space scurvy, or spore scurvy. No, it's like they kill him, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, they killed the character and what have you." But from what I understood, because long before the episode where Culber died, Wilson and Cruz had said that like they have to go through different challenges in their life and in their relationship to be able to get to a better place. And so when they killed him, I don't know, like in my mind it was like they're gonna kill him and bring him back, and that's gonna be one of the steps that they have to go through. And I had understood that, and I assumed that everyone understood the same thing. Like I assumed that everyone knew that Culber was gonna come back. Like I thought it was confirmed that he wasn't dead for real.
Yeah,
So
I
I
believe.
didn't have a freak out about that.
No, I believe it was long. It wasn't long after where they kind of started hinting around, like, oh, there could be room because remember, like, mirror universe. You could do a lot of things, time travel. You know what I mean? There's any number of ways an actor can come back and play a role. Or
Oh, in Star Trek? Oh yeah.
yeah. So like it was either that or they brought him back to life. I was like, how the hell are they gonna bring him back to life? Like, how's that gonna work? And I thought for a second, I think this was a theory that was going around, was that like Giorgio, Stamets would steal him from the mirror universe, and you'd have like this fucked up kind of Cobra, like all messed up and stuff. But yeah, this is connected to the spore thing falling on Tilly's shoulder. I personally believe they didn't know what they were doing with that. And I think they may have said,
I agree.
we need to put some kind of mystery thing here so we can tie it into bringing Wilson Cruz back, because people are pissed off that he left. He was killed, right? And it was such a stupid, unnecessary, just piss poor death.
I have a comment about the effect that we just saw.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the ship being trapped in like two planes of existence. I love that idea, and I love it. I love the concept of it being shipwrecked.
I like that, yeah.
I don't think that it should be portrayed like that. I just think that the ship should kind of just disappear. It like as if it were disappearing into like a pool, but you can't see it. See what I mean?
You're talking about like a more cerebral effect, where you know, like the audience would have to think about it for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like the ship is just cut off instead of having it in a literal visual sea. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I think would work better. It would make more sense, I think.
And from the inside on the bridge, when the thing's coming toward, it just looks like empty space, or just looks like space, but really they're not being sucked out. I think that would have confused like some people. They've been like, how are they not getting sucked out into space?
See,
like, oh, you don't understand because it's a different dimension. Blah blah blah.
See, because what they do is they conveniently cut the ocean in space. Like it doesn't end because they have the camera. It's not in frame. Like the end of it isn't in frame because they can't show you the end of it. It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't like. Does it just dissipate, or does it carry on forever? Like what? We don't know.
Mm.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. Oh, well, apparently it dissipates. They're showing it here. But see, I wouldn't have it like that. I would have it just half the ship is gone.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
Because now you have
the ocean water effect is
now they're pulling an ocean across space. It's stupid. Captain Lee.
I love that. I love when Pike's like, "Shut the fuck up, Tyler."
He's right though. Why doesn't he do that to Saru in that episode?
You got to realize he doesn't like Tyler at all.
Yeah.
He knows his whole deal.
But they write him inconsistently. I find, Pike. There's one episode where they write him weak and tame, and compared to how he is usually. And it's that Saru episode where Saru just takes control of the bridge. He's like, "Fuck off! We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Fuck you." And Pike's just like, "Yeah, you shouldn't really be like that."
Well. This is the more relationship development. I want to know how he survived there. Like he puts the
What
bark
did he
on.
eat?
I don't know, but he put the bark on himself, right, to keep them away from him, like the spores from eating him up. But
So this is
what did he eat?
is,
Yeah.
This is where they explain, or in this story arc, that every time you spore jump, you kill the parts of the mycelial network. You're hurting these creatures, right? You're not supposed to spore
Yeah, it's like
jump
it's like that warp drive episode in seventh season of TNG.
yeah, where like everyone gets a speed limit all of a sudden, but they never uphold that. But here they continue to spore jump after knowing that they're actually hurting life forms.
See, that was interesting. That those sparks or those spores, I think, was her attacking her, and she can maintain that other form and hold that gun. That's kind of cool. I just don't get her mentality as a character, May's mentality, and like how their species or her mind works. And it's weird. It's kind of all over the place, but
Beta. Well, how do you know that? That applies to a human, perhaps, but this is an alien life form with a different psychology. You don't know that maybe they thrive off that.
perhaps it's learning compassion through Tilly
Perhaps.
and its experience with these people.
Oh yeah.
There's a moment coming.
If this being has to learn how to like be human through the crew of the Discovery, they will talk about their emotions for the rest of their lives.
How do you buy this explanation of like the writers had to do some like I didn't know if they had this planned. It doesn't seem like they had it planned. Or it's like he kisses him.
It's very difficult to know
the tear
what they
falls
have planned
down,
or not.
and he's in that state where he's connected to the network. So,
I mean,
his essence
works.
is transferred in there. They recreate him in there with their matter, and that's why he can't leave later on.
I mean, it makes as much sense as all of the other bullshit that this show does. Like, I can't even tell you what they improvise and what they don't, like what they have planned. I mean, this makes more sense than the Klingon War.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay, I get it now. I've had that complaint about how May doesn't recognize him as a human, and he just explained that. Yeah, okay.
he recognizes him as May recognizes him as a human body.
A foreign body that, like,
What did I say?
I can't remember. Well, I don't know. I heard
They're sinking, Captain. The ship's sinking.
Captain, I can't do it. I cannot reach the control panel.
Captain, we're going to sink. Oh my god, just space the guy. See, firewall seems like a very contemporary word. I don't feel like Star Trek would use the words firewall.
Yeah, it's.
Is that just me? Or I know that like that didn't really exist back in the 90s, so that's why we never had firewall as a word in the other shows, but I feel like it's they would use the word more encrypted or
I think they need. I think Star Trek. The technical jargon works best when it's the most scientific and it doesn't reflect like pop culture in any way or
yes,
like.
I agree.
Like
Same with Star Wars
it's
too.
Very basic. Like when Data explains something technical or when Geordi explains something technical, it's like there's no like we gotta juice this mother up or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Oh no.
Oh no.
Have you seen Disenchantment?
No.
Okay. There's a character that he's like the court jester, and he always gets thrown out the window or something, and he's like, no. And I find him hilarious. I find him hilarious. It's like they joke about his catchphrase, like, oh, your favorite. Can you say your favorite catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Then they throw him out the window. Oh no! Oh, there it is. So you used bark and just floating dust to build him? What was that reaction shot of Stamets?
I don't know.
They did a second one.
It's desperation. It's worry. It's they can't figure out how he's gonna get away. But I give him credit for how they do it, because I think it's like where the blob was created over there in their universe, or in their, that he could be reborn in it.
I think
It's
Wilson Cruz gives a very good performance in this episode.
Yeah. He looks like a crazy homeless person. It's like, no, man, I don't have any money. Get off me. Dude, you trying to kiss me? I don't have any money, I told you.
Yeah, he does look kind of like a crack addict, or like a... He's asking the dude for meth or something. They didn't need to cut to Burnham in that. Just leave it on them. No them.
Now he's starting to look like a logic extremist before he blows himself up.
Yeah. He's got that, He's the Iron Chest. No, is that his name? Iron Fist? Yeah, it's Iron Fist. But I mean, Stamets can tear holes in your space-time continuum anyway, any day of the week. Oh, great, Trekkie's here. He left a comment 20 minutes ago now. Oh, okay. He's popping in and out. Oh no. When Stamets lost Hugh, he lost everything. Hugh comes back and he's like, "Fuck you. I don't want to be."
I love Hugh post resurrection. I like Hugh better when he comes back.
He has a bit more personality.
And I love the scene where he's like in the cafeteria and sees Tyler. He's like, "Let's do this."
Yeah, he's gonna beat him up.
And Tyler's like,
at least fight him.
I don't want to fight you.
Black Alert. You can't just announce Black Alert. You have to inform the captain of what's going on.
No, well, actually, I get that because they were told like 2 or 3 times, like, we only have like a minute, and they're talking for like 2 and 3 minutes, and they're like, this doesn't look good. We only have a minute, and she's like, we finally got it done. Yeah, it is what it is. I like the.
How is it turning too? Aren't there some people going in and out of the thing? Because they're on the bridge, like being scared and worried that they're gonna die if it engulfs them. But all of the other people that are spinning in that, are they just dying?
No,
or is there no one in there?
No, they're not.
There's no one in the rings.
No. Yeah, it's the plates that are spinning on the top and bottom.
Oh, okay.
Like when you see the windows are stationary, right?
Yeah, okay. So there's no one in that.
No,
I thought it was corridors and stuff.
The corridors are in the middle of that.
They've got crew quarters in there. You're taking a bath, spin that bitch.
It seems like something that would cause a lot of tremors in your quarters if your quarters were around there. Like, fuck these black alerts.
Having a nice dinner. God damn it. There's emotional dampeners, I guess, but... Stand on red alert. You were at black alert.
They were at red alert first.
Oh, okay.
He called it late, though, I believe.
Does it annoy you when characters, even Riker in like TNG, they always say shields up, red alert, when all you have to do is say red alert and it activates the shields automatically? So technically,
No, well,
if you said red alert immediately, then the shields would actually activate, like everything would activate quicker.
I would assume like if you had to go to red alert, shields would be a thing. But sometimes there could be situations where you do go to red alert, but perhaps raising your shields would be provocative to a certain
Oh, okay.
person or something like that, or I don't know. Mama, mama, you're not the mama. That's a nice shot there. Except for they do the haze, man. They do a lot of this haze. I don't like.
Yeah, they shouldn't have put that on. And then they got that sun over there. Like they shouldn't have put any of that light. Just the two ships.
You can do those light refractions and stuff, but I think the way they do them is they overlayer them to the point where you're obscuring the beauty of the CGI model that does look better in this season, like the compared to last. And season 3
Oh my
is
god, that's right. This is all about 7 signals this season. They haven't yet found the right serialized story arc for Star Trek.
no, not yet. Not one is.
I'm sure they will eventually, but of the 4 seasons that we've had so far that have serialized story arcs, none of them work.
So it's like tachyons, time travel.
What's interesting is we're gonna get to a point soon where like the excuse of they're in their infancy doesn't work anymore. Because now we've had 5 seasons of new Star Trek. We're gonna get 3 more this year, so that's 8 seasons of new Star Trek. That's an entire show of Star Trek, even if it's broken down into different teams and different seasons. So you can't use the excuse of they're just finding their way anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're.
I cannot wait to see not only Picard and Discovery season 4,
Prodigy? Strange New
but
Worlds?
no strange. Yeah, Prodigy of course, but Strange New Worlds because they are 7 episodes into. I don't know how many seasons. I don't know how many episodes they're doing. But they're, I guess, halfway through maybe. And it's going well. It's going slow though, but they're using the augmented reality walls, and I can't wait to see what they do with that stuff. And you see glimpses of it in the trailer for Discovery season 4.
You told me that they were doing 10 episodes, I think, per season. For
Like
Strange
they
New
would,
Worlds.
yeah, they would go the route of Picard, and they yes, 10 episode treatment.
Because
they did treatments for
Prodigy
10
and Lower
episodes.
Decks, Prodigy and Lower Decks have 10 seasons. Like that's the 10 episodes now. That's the, I suppose, base format.
That's the
how Star
standard.
Trek's gonna. Yeah.
I think
How much how much are you willing to bet that one of the episodes of Strange New Worlds will happen on a planet where everyone has died from a virus and the remaining have to wear masks?
no, I don't think.
You think
I don't
they're not gonna do that?
I don't think they'll. You look at the first 2 seasons of TNG. There are a number of virus related or pandemic related episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
One of them is like literally the same virus as in the original series.
yeah, the Naked Now and
You think they won't do that?
no, I don't. It's not this season.
It's too close.
In
close to home.
in reality, they would have to do something that involves microorganisms of some sort or some kind of infectious thing. I mean, you can't avoid it. I mean, it's part of biological existence, and it's a huge thing in sci-fi. But maybe might have like more political intrigue. Maybe it might be a smaller thing where where they literally are just doing like not little missions, but like making
Father
a
is there.
difference.
Did you see those comments?
What?
Father is leaving comments. I'm not paying attention to these comments.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
DS9 works. 10 episodes in season 1 of Strange New Worlds. Yes. Yeah, I've forgotten about that. But yeah, 10 episodes. Keep it tight, man. 10 good stories. And seriously, just make it like TOS, goddammit. Just try it out. People aren't gonna if somebody gets along and complains, oh, you're doing the same old thing, then tell them to shut up, because you know
I'm
what?
gonna be honest, you can't get more shit than they got for Discovery Season 1 online, right?
That's what I'm saying.
They can't get more.
If
It's like, it was the most hated thing ever.
if you had Pike open up an episode with a voiceover of a passing the Enterprise passes the camera, space to final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. It's 5-year mission. Blah 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 bitty bloop, and not the original theme though, but an actual original composition that is in the spirit of da 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 da, or dun da 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 da, or what's DS9? Dun dun. No, wait.
That's Voyager.
That's Voyager.
I can't do Deep Space Nine.
Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah,
You
something
don't want a
like
Faith
that.
of the Heart.
My God, if they do a lyrical song, I will lose my shite.
They call it Faith of the Pike.
Faith of the Pike. They should do a rock and roll song called "Get Piked."
Get piked.
But you know, that's what I love about Lower Decks. It was a take on the traditional opening, right?
You think they'll go?
And I think they should go back to a serious one.
They'll go full JJ and use the Beastie Boys as like the opening theme for Strange New Worlds.
Intergalactic. Which actually, that song has a reference to Spock in it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
There you go. We're not watching on the next Discovery, are we?
No.
Okay. Well, what did you think? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was okay.
It's like a lot of those. This felt like a lot of those Enterprise episodes. It just exists.
So, anybody have any indication when the goddamn trailers are going to come out for all the new shows?
I don't know. Like, they're sitting on that. I feel like Prodigy at this point isn't like, it's either not. It's gonna get trailers, but they're gonna start announcing that thing like the week before it comes out, right?
I'm fascinated with like Love, Death, Robots, the second season, and just some of the photorealism. Not all of them, but.
So I looked that up a bit, and
Yeah.
apparently they integrated for Michael B. Jordan. They did use filmed assets that they had. So some of the close-up shots of his face are not CGI. They are his actual face.
Oh my God! I feel like I was duped. I thought I was being tricked into not seeing the uncanny valley for a couple of seconds, because I noticed some shots. It's like, okay,
some shots he looks CG and some shots he doesn't, and so it's those real close-up ones. The one where he, you know the ones where he's really acting and it's on his face. Then that is them incorporating the
I gotta apologize to Starfleet Boy now.
What did you adamantly tell him? Like,
no, I assumed. Because my friend told me about it, and he's like, man, this is some of the I'm like, yeah, let me check it out for myself. And I was like, wow, you're right. And Starfleet Boy was like, no, I'm pretty sure some of that was live action. I'm like, no, it was all CG. I was wrong.
Some shots were live action, some apparently of his face.
His father, he says we should be getting some trailers at San Diego Comic-Con in late July.
That makes sense.
I think Prodigy is gonna look really good. I don't know how it's gonna be. I just know it's gonna. I believe the animation's gonna be better than Clone Wars stuff. I tried to watch the Bad Batch, by the way.
Okay, is that I won't watch any animated Star Wars things. I'm just not like invested enough. I suppose I'll watch the live action stuff.
I checked it out because it's new. I wanted to see if it could stand on its own without me being a Clone Wars or any guy, watching the previous stuff. I can't stand the animation. I really can't. I can't stand it. Oh my God. It's like I think Love, Death, Robots spoils me because there's some really fucking great animators out there. And I'm like,
Oh
hire
yeah.
these people. Just imagine Invincible season 2 with a certain degree of, well, not maybe not a
I
season,
think
but if they
Invincible
spun it
season
off
two
and
is more of a budgetary thing than it is because like okay, I will say Invincible is an ugly ass show. I'm sorry. It's really not high quality animation in my opinion. But
have
then
you
I don't
seen
know too much about it.
have you
About
seen the
animation,
stills from the new He-Man?
N- did Father share those with me? No, he shared She-Ra, I think.
Well, the new He-Man, which is partly made by Kevin Smith, the idea was to be completely faithful to the source material, being the cartoon that I grew up on.
Oh yes, I did see that. It looks
And
amazing.
and then I'm looking at that and saying, Jesus, they actually made an effort to be as faithful as possible to the source
But it's
material.
like full HD looking, with those
And the
beautiful painted backgrounds.
Exactly. And it has the same kind of like American anime, I call it, look of
Yeah.
Invincible, but with so much better shading and texture to the.
It's got beautiful lighting too, as well, which
Yes.
is something that Invincible does not have. It looks it's
I love
Invincible.
Just to be clear, I love the show, but I do
Really?
agree that the animation does look flat at times. I think it's serviceable for me. It
In
doesn't.
in the in like the show's defense, I feel like they're pumping out 40-minute episodes rather than 20. And as Mike McMahon has said multiple times about Lower Decks, every second of animation costs like a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they need to really they have to spend their dollars wisely when making a long format animated show.
And the quality of storytelling and the way the way the characters act and react and their facial expressions and stuff in the limits of the animation that they're working with, I think it's very effective. And especially when it gets to the violent stuff. The violent stuff really pops.
Well, yeah, it's like you're at this point now where, like, if you can't draw a crazy amount of drawings for each action, then the drawing that the few drawings that you have to make have to be very effective, and then the blood splatter or whatever it is, that violence has to be conveyed, and they do a good job with that. There's no problem. It's just that
One of the best
Love Death Robots though. I think my favorite episode was the train one, the tall grass.
And you know what? I had an idea watching that about Star Trek. If you want to do a little anthology series like Love, Death, Robots, where it's just animation, it's different companies doing their thing, do that with Star Trek. It would be too expensive.
What they did with short treks. No, because that's what they did. They had the short trek.
No, I mean just all.
short treks.
I mean all animated.
Oh, okay. But they
no live action stuff.
The two animated short treks were done by different animation houses. I think they were both Canadian.
Yeah,
I think there were two different animation houses. Of course, like you need to send them the right messages so that they don't put random A's on Enterprises and don't write them in the wrong places. But yeah. The last one, the one that they call the Drowned Giant, the last episode of the season, everything that wasn't the characters, like all of the buildings and all of the cars, like that was photorealistic.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
Yeah. I didn't like the one with the steampunk kind of future with the kids have to be taken care of. If you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's so dark.
I didn't like that either. But like the crazy thing is like I don't know. First of all, it felt like an altered carbon kind of ripoff, with the people living in the high buildings that are rich, and the poor people living on the ground, and it's all like cyberpunky and what have you. But also, I feel like the message, like I feel like what the guy did at the end was useless. Because someone else will just go to that house.
Yeah.
In a few days.
It's very dour. The best one is the killer vacuum cleaner one with the old lady and the dog. Oh, that was so good. I love that one.
Very Black Mirror.
Actually, yeah, it's I think David Fincher in that worked on the first season, and it's a different vibe altogether in the second season. The second season is actually more like Black Mirror, and the first season is more like, I don't know, just fucking like crazy heavy metal shit. And actually, this is kind of like heavy. This came from heavy metal, I believe. Like the guys wanted to do a sequel to heavy metal.
The Christmas thing was so fun.
Oh, the Christmas thing was good.
Oh my god, that's like the shortest. It's like 5 minutes long or something. Oh yeah, god, that was fun.
Yeah, so everybody check out Love, Death, Robots.
Yeah, check out Love, Death, Robots. Love, Death, Robots is a thing where like you don't even have to watch all of the episodes. Like if you don't, I watch everything, but if you're looking at the snippets or the previews that they have, and you're like, no, that doesn't feel like something that I would watch, you can kind of quit out of that episode, I guess, and not watch it. But I feel like it's a lot of these episodes, like the Tall Grass in particular, it has like an interesting story, an interesting concept with the train and the tall grass, but I feel like it's more a demonstration of what this team of animators can do animation wise.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's more a demonstration of the capacities that they have at animation rather than storytelling, which is kind of how that the ice one felt with the whales. Even though I didn't really like that episode, it felt more like, this is how we draw, this is our style. And the story was a bit
I kind of liked all of them except the one with the ice, the kids on the ice. I was like, oh god, the animation's kind of cool and stuff, but
yeah, well, that's the kind of point I think they were just trying to showcase that.
Yeah. What?
Oh, there's Life Hutch too. What's that one? Yeah. No, Life Hutch is the Michael B. Jordan one. What's the other one? Snow in the Desert. The Albino Man.
Oh yeah, that was okay. It was good for the violence, but yeah. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining us for this commentary. I hope you had fun. And until next time, live long and prosper.
See ya.